want to shift gears to Indiana and talk about Pete Buttigieg.
Sound like an echo, or
kind of.
Because
his
head's so empty and hollow.
You call it into his cavernous rallies.
Yes.
Hey,
no,
no. Is anyone here?
No, he actually had two moments of please clap moments.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at the town hall yesterday, and then there was like a few days ago he had another event, and he was like, "Come on!" And then everyone started clapping. So he said, "Come on!" He's like, "Jeb, please clap.
Please clap.
Please clap."
He has to then do a equivalent of I eat nails for breakfast. I have screws
No.
for lunch.
No. He said, "I eat bullets for breakfast."
No, nails.
Who
He
said
said
that?
nails.
Nails. I
Who
guarantee.
said I eat nails for breakfast?
Well, whatever.
Jeb Bush.
Okay.
Oh, he did. That's right. He did.
Did he say nails
I
or
think
bullets?
it was nails.
It was nails.
Okay, well, whatever one it is. Hold on. Let's all agree that it's
Nails.
stupid. That it's stupid. No.
Let's all agree
No,
that he doesn't.
Yeah, that he doesn't.
That's a lie.
That he doesn't. That's a lie. And that's
No,
stupid.
they just get like a candid shot of him.
His mouth is like bleeding. Oh, shit.
We are live, folks. So, why are we talking about Pete Buttigieg? Well, here's why. The South Bend residents are warning America about Pete. And, oh my goodness, Cassie
man.
Lloyd.
Thank you
with
so
the
much.
$50 super chat. Wow.
It's destroying the city.
No. It's dancing. It's dancing. The city's celebrating. It's not destroying it. They're celebrating. So there
Thank
we
you
go.
so much, Kathy. It's amazing.
Thank you,
that
Cassie.
people like you help this do what we do.
All right,
Thank
but-
you.
Yeah, that's cute.
But to make things important here, so why are South Bend residents warning America about Pete? Well, I want to rewind back the clocks, but last December, I actually interviewed Anthony Clark. I actually interviewed him earlier today. And
We're gonna be showing that tomorrow.
During that December interview, I asked him about his time speaking to the residents in South Bend, Indiana, about what it was like to have Mayor Pete Buttigieg as their mayor. And everything that he told us in that interview echoes everything that is in this article. And here's a quote from Michelle Berger, who's 42, a stay-at-home mom. "If he's the next president, I fear for our country. He couldn't run our city. How can he run the United States? Look at all the crime. He didn't do anything about it. Look at our quality of life. If he becomes president of the United States, it will become one big South Bend, a giant sinkhole. We'll be in a new depression." Now, Pete Buttigieg, being 38, had a childhood in the Rust Belt, elite education, moderate liberalism, has drawn comparisons to the French president Emmanuel Macron, who was elected in 2017 at age 39. On the stump, Buttigieg comes off as cool, calm, and cerebral with a deeper than expected voice, given his boyish appearance. He typically gives speeches wearing a white shirt and a tie with the sleeves rolled up. I hate that look. Like, personally, I don't like that look at all for anybody. Buttigieg's White House dreams were encouraged by his victory in the Iowa Democratic Caucus and his strong second place in last week in New Hampshire's primary. But some in South Bend describes Mayor Pete Buttigieg's time as their mayor as a nightmare, during which FBI data showed that violent crimes surged from 602 in 2012, his first year, to 1,088 in 2018, the latest for which statistics were available.
Wait, repeat those numbers again?
So in 2012, the crime rate was 622.
Okay.
And then in 2018, 1,088.
But I thought stop and frisk worked. Didn't they put all the cops in the minority neighborhoods?
No, it didn't.
I thought that was his plan. It didn't work.
It didn't work at all.
I mean,
I remember he got asked
what?
that. Was it the last debate that he got asked that? And he's like, "That's not true." And they're like, "Yeah, it is." He's like, "Oh."
Right. So throughout this article, a lot of people are mentioning, a lot of residents in South Bend are saying that he has helped gentrify the neighborhood. Police corruption has been running amok. Police have been abusing people of color. The African-American population in South Bend, Indiana has been displaced thoroughly. And in fact, the only way you can actually sit down and actually have a conversation with Mayor Pete Buttigieg, if you want to get anything done at all, you don't go to the mayor. You go to his owners. Oh, wait, you mean the donors and the lobby groups that support Pete Buttigieg. You have to go through them so that they can tell Pete Buttigieg whether he should vote yes on it or no on it. This is a guy who is owned by corporations. This is a guy who has 40 billionaires supporting him. This is a man who goes to wine caves to basically talk about neoliberalism. So let's just give a short background to who he is. Now, of course, we all know he served in the United States Navy, but he was also hired as an associate at McKinsey & Company, a counseling firm, in 2007, which he didn't release any papers until quite recently when he was called out on it. And also, it included coverage for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, Best Buy, the U.S. Department of Defense, and the U.S. Postal Service. Buttigieg took a leave of absence in the late summer and fall of 2008 to work with the failed Indiana gubernatorial campaign of former Democratic Representative Jill Long Thompson, then returned to McKinsey in 2009, was awarded a district commission in the United States Navy. He quit McKinsey in 2010 to run for Indiana Treasurer as Democrat, losing that race, and then 2 months later declared his candidacy for mayor of South Bend, which is about the same size as the Bronx, but just has 7% of its population. So again, here's what we're seeing. We're seeing during this time, this guy has been building a very close connection to corporations, lobby groups, and special interests. This is something that all the residents in South Bend, predominantly the African-American population, has been calling out. He's a danger. Now, why is he a danger? Well, the article goes on to mention that one of Buttigieg's signature programs was the anti-blight effort, dubbed 1,000 Homes in 1,000 Days. Oh boy, hang on. Which ultimately targeted 1,122 abandoned houses, repairing about 40% and raising the rest, according to the South Bend Tribune. Dan Kelly, an engineer who lives on the West Side block that was part of the program, said he hadn't really helped his neighborhood, unlike the gentrifying area across the river near Notre Dame. Mayor Pete talks a big game, but in the streets like this, it's hard to see those changes. And again, it's displacement. It's something we're all too familiar with here in the city of Chicago, where we see gentrification running amok. This is a problem with Mayor Pete Buttigieg. He really doesn't have the political experience. He doesn't have it at the federal level. This is just a big fish in a small pond, bullying people who can't fight back. This is a guy who allows police corruption to run amok. Mayor Pete Buttigieg is owned by the establishment, lobby groups, and big corporate donors. So in other words, at the end of the day, when the people of South Bend, Indiana say to all of us, whether you're in New York City, Chicago, LA, North, South, East, West, doesn't matter what part of the country you live in, Mayor Pete Buttigieg is a danger, then yeah, we should all take the earplugs out, listen, and say, oh yeah, they're bringing up some very good points, because look at how he's treated his own constituents as mayor of South Bend. Kira, Daniel, take it away.
Really quick, I know Kira wants to probably say something on this too, but you know what's crazy in just retrospect? AOC got more votes, as far as I'm aware, running for her congressional seat than Pete did running for mayor. Yet, what did he get, like 10,000 votes or something like that? Was
yeah,
like
10,000, just over 10,000. And in the second election, it was 8,000 something.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, so you have, what's your background? Oh, I got 10,000 people to say, I guess this guy, I don't know who else I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. And now you're qualified because you can speak 7 languages and you worked as an engineer in the Navy. You can now be president because you're good at memorizing stuff. You're good, but again,
he can't even memorize any of the languages he speaks. At a town hall, he embarrassed himself speaking Maltese and Norwegian. He doesn't speak those languages. Everyone's embarrassed for him.
It's all, and remember,
I kind of felt
do you
sorry
remember
for
he
him.
tried to speak Spanish and he forgot what he was saying?
Yeah,
halfway
I
through?
always get that like
Look.
empath sort of like,
Yeah.
oh, don't do that, no.
No.
But that's the thing. When
It's like me saying
How
I
much
speak
of him
fluent
is real?
Japanese being there for 5 weeks. I don't
Yeah.
speak fluent Japanese. I know some words, but I don't know what I'm
German
doing.
was my first language, and it was my minor in college, and I would not say that I'm fluent in German.
And
Good
that's the
Good
thing.
enough.
Pete's
Good
entire
enough.
campaign, his entire everything, is a mirage. It's there as long as people think it's there. And the second that belief goes away, it will just collapse. Pete will go to nothing. He's started from nothing. He's destroyed. Again, if you're a small town mayor like Bernie was, what happened? What's the difference? Bernie Sanders, people still think in Burlington, that was he was the best mayor that we've ever had. He turned the city around. He made it affordable. He did this and that. What do they think in South Bend? Well, he arrested my family and bulldozed my house while I was inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then he put on some nice cobblestone and made it look real pretty. He's like the man behind the curtain in Wizard of Oz, right? He's like, don't look behind the curtain.
And then he also introduced a gluten-free organic farmers market right in that gentrified area too. So hey, it's all good.
Nice
Yeah.
for people who love to spend $8 on a package of strawberries. But
Hey, if they're good strawberries be good strawberries.
you know, and a lot of the time I hear when I listen to, other media outlets, specifically progressive media outlets, that frequently we do go to blaming the donors for Pete's behavior, how corrupted he is, because I believe that most everybody is corruptible, and I think Pete is just starting early. But I honestly think that he's got a minority problem. I think that he's not only in the polls. I'm not just talking like that minorities don't want to vote for him. I'm talking like I think he seriously has like really negative outlook on people of color and people in those communities. I saw a video of him after someone in a community had been shot. I don't know if it was,
that was
from
recently.
the cop.
Yeah, from the cop, yes.
Yeah, and reading from a piece of paper, like you see him orate on that debate stage. You know that asshole knows how to talk and how to make eye contact and how to be passionate. And he's standing there in front of this community that just lost their community member, their brother, their friend, whatever service that person provided inside of that community. They just lost somebody, and he's standing there like this monotone voice, not looking anybody in the eye, and it was really gross.
Let me give you this take. I think that's a reasonable way to look at it. But I think that there's actually an even worse outcome, a worse way to look at this, and that is that it's not even that. He just doesn't care, because his point of view is, okay, how do I get power? That's the thing I can do to get power. Okay, I can sell my stuff out over here to get power. I'm gonna do that. These people don't. They don't.
He's been laser focused on it since.
So why, if your entire thing, if you're Pete Buttigieg and you have a group of people that aren't gonna vote for you anyway, why would you put any thought or emphasis into saying you're sorry? That they're just, if you put the effort in, they're just going to say, hey, why aren't you doing anything? And that's a chore. And yap. I'm going to read this thing. I'm going to get out. I'm going to go back to my gentrified farmer's market. I'm going to buy my $8 strawberries.
And soy milk.
I'm going to go soy milk. And then I'm going to go back in the field and talk to the people that actually can help me gain power. I think that's even, like, in a sense, it's like the neutral position, but it's much more terrifying than the malicious position.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know.